Do you ever just wake up in the morning and already feel so tired and drained and your day hasn't even started yet? You feel like you can still sleep more. And the first thing on your mind when you hear your alarm clock is, oh man, I have to get up, go to school, go to work, or go to college. I mean, I guess now everything is like online, so you just have to get up and on your desk, on your laptop, or turn on your computer. But every day feels so stagnant, and it's like you're repeating the same day over and over again. And it seems like this is what your life's gonna look like. After you finish school, you go to college or you go to work, and then everything every day will be the same. And you feel like you're stuck. Because that's how I've been feeling for the past few months or longer. I don't even remember anymore because I lost track of time. I realized that it's May now and my brain is still in December. Like, I still think it's 2020. Lately, every morning when I get up, or like every afternoon, because I completely lost control over my life, that I sometimes wake up at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. now. But anyway, when I get up, I already feel like tired. And I just wish I could like lay in bed all day and do nothing. It's just so hard to get out of bed. I don't know why. It's just waking up, facing the reality. It's just so tiring. I've been like feeling this now even more intensely because I graduated, or I'm graduating. I'm still waiting for my grades, but I mean, I don't have university anymore, so that means the next step in my life would be either to go to college again and do my master's or get a job. And honestly, I don't want to do neither of them. Going to college was like my way of postponing the fact that I have to face the reality and go get a job, because I always was terrified of getting a job. Because I don't have a dream job, if I can say that. I don't dream of working, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of people use college as kind of like a delay for them to decide what they want to do, because we get told as kids, like, you have to go to school, and then after you graduate school, then you have to get a job. And the job is the thing that you're gonna pursue for the rest of your life until you retire, and then you're old, and then you're gonna die. It really scares me to decide to go to a job and then work in this field for the rest of my life. I mean, you can technically like change your jobs as much as you want, but that's kind of looked down upon, right? And I'm a person, I have like trouble sticking with something. I get bored very easily, so the idea of working in a company for a long time really scares me. Now that I think of it, I got asked so many times as a kid, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? What is your dream job? And I always used to tell everyone that I wanted to be a film director. Like, I really, truly wanted to go to film school for most of my life, I guess, or like I when I was a child. I don't know, I kind of gave up on that. It's so funny because like the older I got, I realized how this picture of a dream job, it doesn't really exist. I guess you're not truly free to pursue what you are dreaming of, in the sense that there are certain jobs that, society wants you to do, people or adults want you to do because they're viewed as successful, and certain jobs that aren't. Most of the jobs who aren't really viewed as, a good job are like creative jobs. That's at least how I see it, unless you become very successful, which obviously is not very easy, right? There's a lot of uncertainty attached with pursuing something in a creative field. When my teachers or parents or my family members used to tell me, like, follow your dreams, then they didn't truly mean that I should follow my dreams. They just meant like follow society's goal of a dream job, if that makes sense. Like, follow what society wants you to do. You are free to dream and you're free to do what you want to do, but unless it's not something that brings you secure monetary compensation or value, then you shouldn't do it because it's not valid. And so if we want to pursue something that is our passion, that doesn't necessarily bring us a security of getting money, then we shouldn't do it. Our job has to be a source of money and source of income, which obviously is true. Like you have to get money in order to live because you have to pay your bills and stuff. But we think that becoming successful, becoming rich, or getting like a nice job and stuff, getting social status is what gives us happiness and what is truly fulfilling to us. At least that's what we are made to believe. We often condition our happiness or our value to certain external things. So we think that we have to achieve certain things, and if we don't, we are a failure and we are a less valuable person. That's why we chased all of these things, all these external materialistic things. Once you reach them, you realize that you didn't truly change as a person. In your core, you're still the same. All these things in your external environment changed, but you didn't change. You even feel more bad because now you have all of this and you thought that this is supposed to bring you fulfillment and happiness, but it doesn't. And then you're like, what am I even doing with my life, right? I realized this when I got good grades so I can have some sort of social status. I have like a very good GPA. I worked so hard to get all of these things, and then once I got them, I realized that it didn't change me. I'm still the person that I used to be before I went to college, before I really got into this heavy mindset of I have to work and hustle all day because otherwise I'm a failure. And I guess like once I realized that all of these things, they didn't change me, I started to question my life choices and my life path. I spent so many years trying to fit into a perfect picture, and I kind of lost myself in the process of doing that. So for example, as I mentioned, I always wanted to go to film school and pursue something in film or videography when I was a child. And I feel like what you wanted to do as a child and the dreams you had as a child, they are truly yours, and this is like truly who you are, like unconditionally you, because as a child we are not as influenced by our external environment because, you know, we didn't have a lot of experience that could have shaped us. Once you get older, you kind of get all of this noise from outside getting in your head, and this kind of shapes how you act. As children, we didn't have all of that. I feel like the person that we were as a child or when we were younger, this is truly our core self and truly our soul. So I wanted to go to film school. When I got older, I decided to go to business school. And I feel like part of it was because, first of all, film school is a creative direction, and everyone always told me, don't take the risk of going into a creative path. You have to be very successful or it's not going to be worth it. And I heard this from so many adults telling me to not do it. My teachers always told me that I should pursue something in science because that was where I had the best grades. I was very bad at creative things. I had a very bad grade in art class. I was very bad at like German and English, where you had to analyze texts or like write essays or stuff, like all these creative things, how I want to call them. I sucked at all of them. Naturally, I thought that, okay, maybe just art and creative stuff is not for me. I'm not a creative person. I should just work in science and do something in that field. But I was always very sad about it because I really liked creative things, if that makes sense. And I really hate that everything is like based off of grades. Teachers and adults determine your worth or your value depending on your grades, and this is how they determine what is like good for you and what's not. So because I was bad at art and all of these, and I was good at science, then obviously my interest had to be in science and my strength had to be in science and not in art, because that's where I got the good grades from. But grades don't really measure your talent or your passion, if that makes sense. And I could ramble about how much I hate the education system, but this is for another video. Okay. I feel like there's a lot of factors that contributed of me not going to film school, and obviously it was my choice. I don't want to victimize myself or anything like that. I'm just saying that a lot of the things that, you know, people in our environment tell us, in fact, like maybe society as a whole, what we see on social media or on other kinds of media or TV shows, is what we think is like true, if that makes sense. And on top of that, film school here, or like any kind of art school here, costs a lot of money. Also, coming from like an immigrant household, I didn't want to disappoint my parents in a sense. You know, they came here to this country for me to have like a better future. So if I go do something that is very uncertain and has a lot of, you know, risks attached to it, it would just cause them a lot of stress as well. I don't want to make it seem like I regret going to business school, because I feel like I learned a lot of lessons there, and I don't think I would be the same person as I am today without going to business school. So I'm very grateful that I went, and I don't really like to regret any life choices, because you don't know what you would be like without doing them, right? And then when it was about time to choose your specialization, I chose auditing, finance, and statistics. So I took this because I wanted to become an auditor. I didn't really find any joy in auditing at all, or in accounting. I just liked it because I was good at it. I wouldn't read any auditing or accounting books in my free time, or look at companies' balance sheet or their annual reports. No, I wouldn't do that if I didn't have a reason for it. I guess I just like the fact that whenever I told people I'm doing accounting or auditing, they would be always like so surprised. And then I even had good grades in it, so that would be like kind of like a bonus, and I would get a lot of validation from that. I sound so pathetic right now, but I realized this after a while when I went abroad to Korea. I feel like that's where all my mindset changes happened. I can't really pinpoint out what exactly inspired me or motivated me, but it was just my experience as a whole, I guess. And I guess this had nothing to do with Korea, but more or less with the people that I met there. I realized that, you know, the world was not black and white as I thought it was. I thought like you either become successful or you're a failure. This is not the case. There's just so many possibilities, so many paths, and so many careers that you can do. It was at that point where it hit me and I was like, I can't keep on doing this. Like, I can't be someone that society or my parents or my friends or family wants me to be. I can't let this internal gaze get a hold of me. So I have to do something that truly fulfills me. I try to pursue something that makes me happy, that I consider as my passion. But it's so hard when your passion is something creative, if that makes sense. And because you have to overcome the mindset that is embedded in you, and you also on top of that have to build confidence in yourself so you are able to pursue that passion, right? First of all, overcoming your current mindset is so hard because you have to rewire everything that you've been taught in your life. I feel like my mind still tells me that I have to pursue certain kinds of jobs or career paths that is considered successful in society's eyes. And if I'm not doing that, I'm a less valuable person. I still have these thoughts in the back of my mind, but I try to get over them because I know that my work doesn't define me. But also, there's like this inner voice in me. It's so difficult. I'm not saying that you should overcome your mindset like fully. Of course, there's some things that you have to like keep in mind because we still live in this world. Like, you have to somewhat follow the rules of this world, and you can't never fully overcome this mindset. And then the part that is even more difficult than overcoming your current mindset is actually building up confidence, because I don't know where to start and I don't know how to build up confidence. How do you build up confidence in yourself? How do you actively go against the law of today's society? This is so hard. This is so freaking hard. If you're currently trying to pursue your passion or do something that you truly like that is not considered something stable in other people's eyes, then you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, especially if you're pursuing something creative, you create something and you're never satisfied with it. It feels like a constant battle with yourself. For me, when I create content, I'm never satisfied with how my video turned out. And even now that I'm filming this video, I know in fact that I'm gonna watch this while editing and be like, I don't want to publish this. This video feels so disorganized to me right now. On one hand, you want to believe in yourself, you like your content, your art, your work. But on the other side, you're never satisfied with yourself and you never think that this is good enough. And on top of that, there's also this pressure from society that, everyone told you that you shouldn't pursue a creative path. I guess taking small steps, incremental steps, they will eventually build up. The results hopefully increase exponentially. One day you will get there, wherever that is. I don't even know where I want to go. I don't like to be outcome focused, but sadly, when you want to pursue your passion, you kind of have to be outcome focused, because as I said before, you do need money, because how are you going to pay your bills? And then when you try too much to pursue your passion, make it your job, it doesn't feel like a passion anymore. Like you kind of lose the fun, because it feels like a chore that I have to do. It feels like something I have to do to get money, rather than me just pursuing my hobby. I feel like taking small steps every day and every week and trying to block out the noise from the outside world as much as possible. Like just unfollowing everyone on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, or whatever platform you use that is kind of like subconsciously putting you under pressure. There will always be some sort of self-doubt that will always come back. Then you're back in your hole of misery and you just want to quit and go back to a traditional career path. Whenever I feel like this, which I feel a lot, I just try to look up to people that are currently doing the things that I want to do, getting inspired by those. And I feel like there's a lot of good creators on YouTube. Just looking at their life story or like their everyday life, just like watching their okay, I don't really watch Instagram stories, but like watching their vlogs or something, and it gives you like a better feeling of what their day-to-day life is, and you realize that these people are just humans as well. So it's more relatable because they struggle with stuff too, and then you realize that you're not alone, and it's totally normal, I guess, to feel a certain type of way sometimes. And yeah, so if they're just humans just like I am and they can do it, then why wouldn't I be able to do it? I guess this is the main point, my main recommendation of this video: get inspired by other people. I hope someone was able to relate to what I'm saying. I hope that if you related to any of this, that you don't feel alone anymore. When you want to pursue your passion, it's gonna be hard. There's gonna be a lot of people who will look down on you. There's gonna be a lot of people who will doubt you. There's gonna be a lot of people who will put their insecurities onto you, their fears onto you, and you just have to try to block them out. I hope that you get to do what you like to do and what makes you happy and brings you true fulfillment. I feel like I mainly did this video for myself. These things have been on my mind for such a long time, and I don't really have anyone to talk to, so this camera is my friend and you're my friend, and so thank you so much for sticking to this up to this point and listening to my thoughts, and I hope you have a nice day, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye bye! See you soon!